Today I went out to the local correctional services golf course and played 9 holes. This is the first hole. It is 155-meter par 3 or 170 yards. I used 7-iron off the tee and it went a little bit long, but previously I used an 8-iron and it fell short of the green. So yeah, it's one of those in-betweener shots to the pin. This was a very, very good lag putt. I was very pleased with it, and it left me a easy tap in for par. The second hole, my first drive went right into the tall grass. So I hit the provisional, and yeah, I didn't find the first drive, so I ended up taking the provisional. So this will be my fourth shot. It is 308 meters par 4 or 337 yards. My 8-iron that I used here, I just wanted to play like a little punch shot underneath the tree, and unfortunately I hit one of the limbs. So yeah, I left myself with a little chip to get onto the green. Unfortunately, it rolled out quite a lot. So yeah, I left myself about 4 or 5 meters for a double bogey. Unfortunately, this is one of the tendencies of today. I left most of the putts short, and then I didn't take my time to read the putts or anything. And yeah, the impatient nature of my game today cost me a few shots. This is hole number 3. It's 344 meters or 376 yards, and this is probably one of the best drives I hit for the day. It left me with about 90 meters or 100 yards into the green. I aimed for the middle of the green, as this was where the pin was yesterday and also the day before, and I couldn't see the pin because the flag was not in the hole. So I left myself with a very, very long putt across the whole green for birdie. Once again, I left the putt very short, and as you will see, no patience, and I lined the ball up, but I didn't give the putt a good read. So yeah, I was just eyeballing it, and it didn't turn out very good. So yeah, what should have been an easy par became a bogey. This is the fourth hole. It's 176 meters over this dam, or 192 yards. I hit my 7-iron very, very fat, so it didn't go anywhere. So yeah, luckily it ended up in the fairway, and I just used my sand wedge to get up and down, or rather just onto the green. Once again, leaving myself a fairly long putt. once again, I left it very short. And luckily this time, even though I was impatient, I luckily got the line right, and luckily it went in. This was also a very sloppy bogey. The next hole is a par 5, 456 meters or 499 yards. I hooked my drive straight left and into the weeds, or rather tall grass. It's supposed to be the rough, but it's not well kept, so it's hard to find your ball if it goes in there, and it's hard to get out of it. So yeah, I used my 5-iron as I was still about 200 meters out from the green, and unfortunately, due to the lie, I topped the ball and it didn't go very far. It just made it into the 6th fairway. Yeah, I used my pitching wedge, and I thought I caught it clean, but as you'll see in a moment, it came straight out of the toe and it just had no power behind it. So yeah, there it is. As you can see, it fell about 20 meters short of the green, so I still had to chip to get on the green, and at this stage I had to get up and down for a par. Yeah, luckily I left myself with an easy tap in for bogey, but it's still not the best. The next hole is a 327 meters par 4, or 358 yards. I pulled the drive again, not very much, but it's enough to end up in the wrong fairway. But it was not as bad as the one on the previous hole. I used a pitching wedge to try and reach the green, but I just got in underneath the ball, and it once again didn't go anywhere. So yeah. Another thing is that a local rule at the golf club is you have a club length relief, or rather a club length free placement 180 degrees behind your ball when it's in the fairway. So yeah, here I was putting for par. This was a very scramble par, and finally I made one of those long ones. It wasn't extremely long or anything, but yeah, it was still a great feeling. Once again, on the 7th hole, I hooked the drive straight into the trees and into the long grass. Hit a provisional, and as usual, the second golfer is always on point. So I was in the tall grass, as you can see, and my sandwich. I wanted to just get it out with the sandwich, get into the fairway again, and once again I got underneath it because it was sat up very high on some of the grass. So I had to use my sandwich again to get out of that situation, and finally I was back in the fairway on the green for 5. So this is a putted bogey. I thought the putt broke more than it did, and I maybe put a little bit too much force into that one. But but luckily I didn't leave it very far from the hole. Once again, I blocked that one out just like on the first hole, and I did hit a provisional, but luckily I found the first one. I was blocked out by this tree with its branches hanging down, and decided that I just wanted to punch out with a 5. It got stuck in the rough of the 8th hole. I did something exceptional here. I hit the ground twice before hitting the ball, so I was surprised that it came out of there at all. Now I at least have a bogey look. Once again, I leave it short. No patience, just tries to tap it in. Luckily, it went in. The last hole is a 337 meter par 4 or 369 yards. Once again, I blocked it out to the right because I was trying to stop myself from hooking the ball so much. I wanted to use the 8-iron to punch out and just get it back into play. And I don't even know what happened, but I didn't hit the ball. I barely made contact with the face of the club. So yeah. Now I have to get up and down for a bogey from over here. Once again in the tall stuff, so I don't know how it's gonna come out. Luckily it came out alright. I missed the green by about probably 30 centimeters, so I decided to putt it. This green has a lot of break to it, as you'll see. And once again the ball bounces, so you don't really have control over where it goes. And even on the last hole, got impatient, tried to just tap it in and missed the putt completely. But yeah, that was the 9 holes. I hoped you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing, and see you in the next one.